Welcome back to SFCraft Season 2 for Episode 4. So in this episode, we are going to be building our first store and finally working on a base. So first we are going to enchant our armor and finish maxing that out. So first we're going to start with the helmet. And I have some books here which we will need to put on it, and first we should probably combine these. And then put that on the helmet. And now I have enough levels to enchant the boots. So let's do that next. And I'll need this book because the only enchantment that I need on this is on Breaking 3. And it costs 34 levels. But it's worth it so that they're not breaking and we don't have to mend them all the time. And now everything is fully enchanted. So we are now at the shopping district, and that is because it is finally time to start working on a shop. So the first thing we need to do is put another emerald block on the pile, which currently only has one from Wise Gear's shop that hasn't even opened yet because there's nothing in it. But there we go. And we are going to be building a bookstore, and it's going to be over here somewhere on this side, opposite of the emerald pile. So I'm going to need to get some materials, and then we are going to go into a time lapse. So we are back from that time lapse, and as you can see, I missed some spots with the water and the concrete, but I'm going to just go around and fix all these quickly. But I think I'm going to still change a few things as we go with this, and I'll definitely need to bring this down so it's not floating. And we're also going to need to work on the inside of the shop. But for now, I think it looks pretty good, and it's basically just a rip-off of the one in the gaming district, which I also built. But the inside looks like this right now, so we definitely need to get working on the interior. So I think I'm going to go do that now, and then we can fill it with books. So I've completely finished the inside of the shop, and I put barrels in the walls with prices on them, and those might change because of the inflation of emeralds, but for now I think the prices are pretty good. So here there are tool enchantments. Over here there are armor enchantments and then mixed enchantments, which are more expensive, but Forbes is here currently looking to see what I have and buy some things. Weapon enchantments are over here, and over there the other enchantments, which is basically just fishing rods. Let's see if we can get out. And I changed the front here so that there's a black area, that way it looks better. And I think Forbes actually did buy a book, so let's take a look here. We got one sold in the mixed enchantments for 25 emeralds, and I think he bought Impaling 4, I think. And I don't think we sold anything else, but that is pretty good considering we just built this. So it is now the next day, and I can finally see how well this place is actually going to do. So I think we did sell some books, so that's very good, and that means most likely in the future we are going to be able to sell a lot of these and get a lot of emeralds from this shop. So we sold 2 of these as well, which is really good. It's over a stack of emeralds, and that is just from a little bit of time at an enchantment table in an XP farm. So I'm sure this shop is going to make us a lot of emeralds. But we didn't sell anything else. However, that is pretty good for now, and I already have brought more books that we can use to restock some of the ones that sold and add some new books that haven't been here yet. As you can see outside of the bookstore, the books on the outside were not very many colors, and that is because we have no easy way to get dyes. So I'm at the gaming district right now, and we are going to need to make a dye farm so that we will have dyes for future projects like my base. So it will basically just be a row of pistons on 2 sides and some grass blocks in the middle. But first we need to see what flowers grow around here, because if it doesn't grow the right flowers, then that's not going to work. So here we have yellow, red, and blue, which are the main colors that we're going to need, as well as the light gray flowers. So this should be a good spot to build it. And we are going to quickly do that. So after that 6-second time lapse, I'm now going to test it out and just make sure that everything works. And I have tested it a little, but that time lapse isn't really good for showing things. So basically just do this and flip the lever quickly to start the clock, and then it pushes the grass back and forth. So this will probably cause a lot of lag, so I'll need to be careful when I'm using this, that too many people aren't on. But for now it works pretty well, and I can get a lot of flowers from this. Now that we have a way to get dyes, I can finally start working on the first part of the base. And this is going to use the terracotta that we got from the first episode, and it's going to go right around this area. But I was actually just stupid, and I got all of this orange terracotta thinking I could re-dye it to brown, and I can't. So apparently you could only dye regular terracotta, and the already dyed stuff in the mesa can't be re-dyed, but now I can make a lot of brown terracotta, which I will need for this part of the base. So we can get started building this over here, and I marked where the doorway is going to go. Seriously? I literally just started building this and the creeper blows it up. But before we finish that, I just remembered that we also need brown wool. So I started making a sheep farm here, and it's not complete because there's no hopper minecart going underneath it. But I think we're just going to do a quick 5-second time lapse again to show this. So that way we'll have brown wool for the base. So I have completed the bottom entrance part of this, and you probably already know what it is from the thumbnail. But basically I'm just going to continue to build this up from here. And now that I have wool coming from this over here, I can get some wool from there for the next part of this part of the base. So we are going to go into a time lapse and finish this. So we are back from that quick time lapse, and the sheep farm is complete. And now we are ready to go into a time lapse and finish working on this part of the base. So we are back from that time lapse, and yes, this is a giant statue of King F. And you can't really tell that easily because of the scaffolding, but that is what it is. So I can now finally remove the scaffolding and we can take a look at the inside. So on the first floor, there's not really anything here yet, and I'm not sure what I'm going to put here, but there is scaffolding in the corner, and that is because that ladder is going to be blocked if I put it all the way down. But the ladder will take you all the way up, and on this floor, there will be a map room, and there's another floor in between, and then this floor here will be the chest room, and over here and on this side will be chests going all the way up to the ceiling. And then on the next floor will be the bedroom, and I'm going to put some things in here that I can use on this side, and the bed will be on the other side. That way I'll be able to sleep inside for once instead of in front of a chest wall. And up here, this is going to become my own enchanting area, and I'm going to eventually get some bookshelves and an enchantment table and put them up here. And finally, we have the roof, which I will be able to fly off of once I have an elytra, and I can get up here with a trident as well, and I'll be able to get down from here. And here you can get a nice view of the village and all of the stuff that other people have built here, and eventually my main base, which will be back here. So now we need to get working on those rooms inside of here so I can finally get rid of that chest wall. So I have put some chests inside of here, and right now I have torches under them. But right here we have lots of chests which are currently empty, but I will be able to fill up with things from the chest wall and also new items that we don't have yet, and I will have a place to store them just like we did with the starter base last season. And I also finished this floor. We have the bed and a crafting table, as well as a poppy and a flower pot, and that is because we had all of the items that I needed to build this. I had gotten everything, and then once I got almost to the end, I needed one more poppy to finish the red concrete for the crown. So I had to go back and get one of those, and that's why we have a poppy there. And on this side, we have brewing stand, stone cutter, an ender chest, and a furnace, so we can use those when we need them. And finally up here, I don't have the enchanting stuff yet, but I have 5 furnaces so I can smelt quickly, the crafting table, an anvil, and a smithing table, which we will probably forget to use. And before we finish the episode, we need to organize the ender chest. And to do that, I'm going to need to buy some shulker boxes, and I already have some in here, but I'm going to need to buy a lot more. And then I can organize this because right now there's just random items in there, and we can get all of the different shulker boxes that we needed just like we had last season, and that will make it a lot easier to do everything and keep everything organized. So I have organized the ender chest and got enough shulker boxes for now and dyed and renamed them. So we have all of these here, which will be useful for the rest of the season. Thanks for watching this episode of SF Craft. So we got a lot of stuff done in this episode. We built our first shop, which is a bookstore. We built a flower farm, so now we'll have infinite dyes for the rest of the season. We built this statue of King F, which I am standing on right now, and we organized the ender chest with shulker boxes, so now it will be easy to carry items and build things in future projects. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and we will see you in episode 5.